Here we go. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, depending on where you are. Gonna get Rekt Gang up. I don't know if it's Zerk behind the account today. If you guys are able to share the space, like the space, much appreciated. We'll get some more people in here. Hey, good morning, everybody. Nice. Okay, I guess you can hear me clearly if I'm seeing the emojis. So, Rekt Gang, I just sent you another invite. If you want to hop up on the stage, Homestead as well, I'll send you an invite here to speak. All right, sends an invite to both of you guys. So these are going to be, we're going to do these spaces kind of bi-weekly moving forward. In between the features on Stargaze, which are moving toward being a little bit more limited, maybe one or two a month. We want to do a lot more focusing on the existing communities and projects on the platform, those ones like Rekt Gang that have been around for so long, that have really kind of proven themselves in a sense. So, this is a really great way for us to kick it off because, I keep approving your request and Rekt Gang is not able to take the stage yet. So maybe this isn't a good way to kick it off because you guys aren't able to speak yet. Okay, there we go. I think he's up now.
Rekt again.
Yeah, typical, right? I think you're up now. Is that Zerk there?
GM, how y'all doing? I see the pleb over here. And is that Signal behind the mic? I'm sorry, I missed.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Signal or Brady.
Or how do you go? Is Signal still the way people call you? I guess I'm still stuck in Signal.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. I think it's cooler than my real name. But you're welcome to call me whatever you want. But yeah, I think I try to, since I was doing a lot with Stargaze more and outreach, I just switched to using Brady more because you do a lot of calls with people and things, especially if it's new artists or something, you hop on video call. It's just better to be more personal. But
I feel Signal is way more personal than Brady. That's just my opinion.
Well, you'll have to take that up with my mother who named me then, I guess. But hey, Zerk, are you, I gotta ask, I don't know if you dox yourself, but are you Canadian?
Yeah, I did dox myself a few times. My real name is Alex, but I much prefer Zerk. Yeah, okay. And I use Zerk whenever people do these formal calls. But yes, I am Canadian. Were you going to ask me about if we're going to join the States? Because I have no opinion on it.
I'm Canadian too. So I also have no opinion on it.
Yeah, you're in BC, right? Or Western Canada?
Yeah, Western Canada, man. No.
Yeah, I remember. Can I get one of my American friends up here so we can take over America style?
Oh my God, so you can roast us? No, don't tread on me is all I'll say about that. But I think, yeah, I think maybe I heard you on a French space, Zerk. So you're from the Francophone belt?
We're here. We're Quebecois. Poutine, and I speak English. I also do Russian spaces, by the way, from time to time. It seems like that's and I see Ghost here. Ghost used to host Spanish spaces. Those I could not do very well. I just cerveza por favor, and that's about it.
Yeah, I wanted to learn a little Spanish because I'm like, damn, there's so many Spanish speakers, but I haven't gotten past, I don't know, what, soy leche bebo or something like that. I drink some milk. I drink a cerveza, but.
Did you say soy milk?
Soy? No. What's yo leche bebo? I can't remember. I got to go back to Duolingo on this. Yeah, don't mention soy milk around Quebecois, right? You guys have the big dairy industry there. It's essential lifeblood for you guys.
I mean, yeah, at this point, it's an insult as well. So you don't want that.
Yeah, so a little introduction. I guess, Zerk, you need no introduction. I think Homestead as well. But yeah, I want to, I guess I wanted to do a space just to kind of check in with you and see what's up with Rekt Gang coming into 2025. You have a few different collections on Stargaze. There's Mad Scientists, which are distinct, but also, pretty much the same community. I just wanted to kind of do this week, highlighting you guys and what's going on with the project and with the community. We've got the Rekt chickens up on the Stargaze front page as well, which I think is kind of cool. We decided to go for a bird takeover this week. So we have your other collection there, Babu there, Zerk, which I know you personally created, I heard.
Yeah, no, I did not create. This is very important that this misinformation gets clarified, I do not know who created Babu and do not blame me, most importantly, for any content produced by Babu News. That is the most important part. Anything else you can actually say, I don't care. But don't at me if Babu News writes something that you're not happy with. Although I do enjoy them and they're quite entertaining. So there's that.
Who do we blame for Babu News?
I mean, well, we have like this sticker in our Discord, in Rekt Gang Discord, and it's, who to blame. Because sometimes it's difficult to figure out who to blame in crypto. So we created a sticker. And ultimately, whatever path you choose, there's only one person to blame, and it's V. So if you have somebody to blame V for anything that you're not happy with. And he's okay with it. He's happy he has a.
Imagine Barto's got to get that sticker a few times here and there too.
Yeah, we could add Barto in. Maybe we could add Barto like in one line, and the other line could be V. So he also would like to have a sticker, I'm sure.
And so,
But yeah, I like these spaces, man. I like this idea of hosting, existing projects and kind of giving them a platform for updates. I think this is a pretty cool way to kick off the year. And I remember, I think last year you guys had like a NFT conference, kind of like a NFT New York, but it was virtual. And it was, I don't know if it was exactly organized by you, but it was cool because we had all these different projects kind of sharing and talking about NFTs. Even at Cosmoverse, there was like one panel about NFTs. So it's nice to kind of have more awareness and more platforms and more communication around, projects that have been around the space and that enjoy Stargaze a lot. We like Stargaze a lot. And I always say this, it's my favorite NFT trading marketplace.
and it's interesting. It's your favorite, but looking at the history of Rekt Gang, it's like the bulls migrated to Stargaze. Mad scientists trade on Stargaze, but not launched. Or a lot of them trade, I suppose, other places to trade too. But it's this kind of cool thing where like you guys have like a really close connection to the platform, I think. But I don't think you've ever been a featured launch, for example, because I was looking back to like update the front page, and I don't think you've actually had a featured launch before. Because I think Chickens as well, you did like a multi-chain launch with it, and I think you just kind of did it on your schedule, right?
Yeah, and quite frankly, I'm not like a biggest fan of the featured launch thing. If because there's some rules and limitations to that one. So I just like people to launch whenever they want. So, but yeah, like if you're saying which collection minted on Stargaze natively, from Origin, that would be the Chickens, and that was a free mint, by the way. We kind of wanted to thank the Stargaze community. They welcomed us with the bulls and wanted to do something fun on all these different chains. So that a free mint. I remember we had whitelisted bulls, but we had whitelisted a lot of addresses as well that were just kind of people interacting with the chain. And now it's cool because you guys have like this huge, massive whitelist that we can do. But back then, I don't think that was possible. But I really enjoy that feature now that people can, I think we didn't even mint out. We kind of had to close the mint ourselves just because the amount of addresses we had whitelisted wasn't enough to fill the whole mint. But it was still fun. I really enjoyed that. And I believe the Chickens were the first NFT collection on Stargaze to use the new metadata feature. I don't know if you remember that. But basically, it was unrevealed. And then we had the unrevealed image on Stargaze, and we had the unrevealed image on Polygon as well as Solana, and we did the reveal all at the same time. So that was really cool. Like all the metadata that pushed and updated on 3 different chains. Anyways, it was a fun experiment back in the day. And yeah, we had used this module, and I also remember that I think the first iteration of the contract was broken. So some of the early Rekt chicken minter got Rekt NFT on top of their chicken NFT. Perhaps it's hidden right now, but they still have that on the blockchain. So that was fun. Yeah, new mint, new way of minting back then.
That's a nice piece of history then. So you got a collection that's blocked as well, technically.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you got people behind it.
yep. Yeah. Well, there we go. Censorship. Guys, I can't believe it.
But yeah, like I don't know. I think that Rekt Gang is really encompasses like Stargaze community, like active users, so many OGs. There's a lot of history like within Cosmos too, of I think early on people that were active in various communities and then kind of like came to Stargaze to have fun during like the depths of the bear market a couple years ago. And to me, it like represents a lot of what the culture is now. And like this shared kind of history between all of us in a sense. I don't know if you have that same feeling, but
Yeah, yeah. And you know what's funny? You say nice words here, Signal or Brady, but we were pretty big haters of Stargaze in the beginning. You gotta understand that we were there when it launched, and I remember minting Stargaze punks, and a few people minted bad kids. Good for you if you held. I'm still salty because I actually like the bad kids more, but everybody told me get the Stargaze punks. It's the new. Anyways, don't want to go to there. But that being said, initially when Stargaze, did those mints, one, the token price was much higher than it was right now. So a lot of people actually got wrecked on the token. So they were not happy about that. But most importantly, Stargaze didn't have all the features it has today. I think that's why I say it's my favorite place to trade. But it wasn't always the case. People, were comparing this to OpenSea, and I guess even on Terra back then, we had Random Earth, we had Nowhere, we had Luart, had all these marketplaces that had a lot of features out of the box. And back then, right at Genesis, there wasn't that many features in Stargaze, so a lot of people were kind of like, not really playing with Stargaze. And then you guys just kept building and adding stuff and adding stuff. And then, people were revisiting Stargaze for new launches. I remember Space Apes launched at a certain point, and then there was the Skellies, and then I guess we migrated the Bulls at a certain point. So kind of rediscovering always this Cosmos marketplace that was always improving and improving. And now it's like, holy shit, Stargaze is like this amazing, marketplace. So like I say, Rekt wasn't always a fan. I'm speaking for the community and I guess I'm speaking for myself as well. But now it's like this really, really incredible, feature rich and community driven NFT marketplace. So kudos to y'all for kind of building something cool from the ground up. And it took some time, and now I feel it's very polished and it's very well done. So yeah.
yeah, no, I appreciate that because I think sometimes there's like a bit of a narrative that's like Stargaze is like kind of like this monopoly or something on NFTs and Cosmos, but it was really like started as a pretty simple platform and like slowly kind of built market share by improving, right? And was up against like a lot of competition from the very beginning. I think where did you launch Rekt Bulls? What was that platform again? I can't remember. I'll get some into it.
Oh boy, I don't even want to.
What was that platform? Remember?
Food finance. That's good. But just for the record, I need to clarify that we did not launch on Poop Finance. We were only trading on Poop Finance because they were incapable of doing what we wanted to do for the Bulls. Again, another innovation is on-demand, reveal of certain NFTs. So in this case, you still have barns that exist on Puno, or I guess no, that doesn't work as well as Poop Finance. But on Juno, you can still reveal your barns. You can still open barns, and there's still unrevealed bulls that people don't even know. What's hidden behind that bull. What's hidden behind the barn is which bulls. So we kind of wanted to do that gamified type of mint where you can reveal on demand your NFT whenever you want. And I think at the time Stargaze didn't have that feature either. So that was one of our, I guess we could have pushed for it, but that was kind of one of our motivations to mint on Junos, because it was, we could do that. So basically we minted using MintDAO, which is now called Gateway, and we were trading on Loop Finance. So we never launched on Poop Finance. Clarify, that's important.
Okay, my bad. Let's correct the record here. So, yeah, but
It is a recorded space. It's important to have that corrected for the record.
absolutely, and I apologize for any misinformation that I've sowed in the community.
Likewise. And if we need something to call that other chain, we could just drop the J and call it ooh no.
Yeah, well, no comment from me. But I think it's cool though. I mean, like you guys, I mean, Rekt Gang is on so many different platforms. So you guys have like all this experience and this ability to compare, marketplaces in like a pretty practical sense. And that's good, right? It's like really good to have that perspective, I think. As opposed to, let's say, just like launching exclusively on Stargaze from the beginning and being like, purely Stargaze diehards, and maybe you don't have the same kind of perspective, right? It's a good thing about the Rekt Gang community is it's like active in so many places, so able to bring that, and I think it's really useful. I mean, at least for me, I'm always trying to like listen to specifically if I see a Rekt Bull profile picture, like what those guys are talking about, and so on. And I mean, all the roasting is funny too. Like it's all welcome, right?
Yeah, we're called, parasitic is one of the words that people like to use, leeching off ecosystems. But we were always very open and transparent, and in my opinion, forward thinking about going multi-chain. If you read the original Rekt Wolf white paper on Terra, it says that we will be minting, these different collections on these different chains. And that was kind of the vision of going multi-chain. Chains don't matter, only the brand matters. And now I think everybody says that, right? Like Pudgy Penguins, they're an ETH collection. They launched a token on Solana. Frank from D Gods bridged D Gods to I don't know how many chains, how many times. So it's now it's like second nature to be. And we have ICS 721, which we really took advantage of with Mad Scientists. So now people really embrace this multi-chain vision and don't want to be maxi on one chain. And that knowledge is really good for feedback. And you guys from Stargaze, I mean, I think honestly, like obviously you integrated features that were pioneered on other chains, things like the pseudo swap type pools, which you call infinity pools. I guess they're done a little differently. But a lot of this stuff has been battle tested on other chains, and you guys do it and do it better. That being said, you got to get inspired from all these different chains, and you got to see what other people are doing, not to kind of reinvent the wheel, but just to improve it. Me.
Yeah, for sure. I'm curious to talk more about like Rekt Gang though, and what you guys have planned for the upcoming year. If there's anything interesting in the pipeline soon, or yeah, like what's going on with you guys?
Yeah, first and foremost, I think all the hardcore community members are very aware of this, but the Rekt Gang DAO is rich as fuck, and surprisingly more rich than what we had minted on Terra, more rich than what the Bull Mint and Trippies were free. So I guess we're very so I'd be too proud of that about this, but we got a massive hyperliquid airdrop, hype token basically, because two of the Rekt Gang used to be core team members, or I guess they were core DAO members, actually are part of the hyperliquid team. And I think everybody has heard of hyperliquid at this point. So we had like one of the earliest referral codes, and we used the platform a lot. So we got like this really, really big airdrop of hype to the DAO, which is super cool. So, we got lots of runway to do some degen shit if we want to. And back in the day, we actually bought a Doodles as well at the bottom. So that did like a 5x. So that's great. So the DAO is quite rich, all things considered. So got lots of ideas on what to do, not enough time. But what we're focused on most right now, obviously we do want to find a way of spending that money somehow, like doing cool shit where we're very frugal. I guess we kind of got wrecked on Terra, we got wrecked on Juno. We're very familiar with bear markets, so we don't like to spend too much or too frivolously. That being said, we have funds to do stuff. We didn't have those funds. So what we're focusing on right now is a game called Rekt Racing. I think people have heard of this concept before, but now we have two devs working on it. Kudos working on it. It's super polished. It's very well done, and it should. I guess we're going to be running tests this quarter. I'm expecting, because yeah, that's kind of like the most bullish thing we have going on is this game called Rekt Racing, and I call it a game. It's actually more of a gambling thing than a game, but we hope that people enjoy it. We hope that people like it. and it's going to be very degen, very fun, and like I said earlier, very polished. It's very well done. It's not like it's something, it's kind of like a nicely done mobile and computer product that you can play. So it's we put a lot of time and effort into it, and we hope that people, yeah. So that's really our focus for Q1. But as always, every day we have the same usual focus, which is not getting wrecked. So we're always sharing alpha plays. Since we're so big in Hyperliquid and Hype, I mean, there's lots of people sharing tickers of these Hype meme coins. Some panned out, some didn't. Solana meme coins, NFT plays, farming, if you're into farming protocols for points and hoping to get an airdrop, we got all the guys for that. So obviously the day to day is Rekt Gang is an alpha hub. But that being said, our big product that we want to be launching is the Rekt Racing game. And yeah, where we have a quite nice treasury because of the Hype airdrop. So those are kind of the 3 updates that I can loosely share, but if you have more questions, feel free.
Just for the game, like what's it built on? You said like you'll be playing. I assume you connect through a browser, that sort of thing. But yeah, I was curious about that.
Yeah, well, not Cosmos. I'm sorry. But the game going to be built on a very popular blockchain that has no fees. It's not Cosmos. And yeah, you basically, it's kind of like your game where you do the wallet connect, and since it's a betting game, you bet on different racers, and then the race goes on. Looks very, very similar to horse racing, but much more degenerate version of it. So I don't know. I don't want to announce the chain yet because feel like that's something special, but it's just so I let you guys know, it's not going to be Cosmos based. It's on one of those big L1 networks. So and yeah, I mean, like in terms of graphics and all that, we have professional game designer, we have animators, we have all that stuff. So it looks nice and polished, and obviously Kudo does absolutely everything. Sometimes he's very involved in the process as well, in the artistic process, making it look good, making the UI UX look good. So should be fun. Should be fun. We'll see. Obviously, sometimes you build things and then people don't really engage or participate. Maybe they'll like it, maybe they won't. I never know. We kind of invested a lot of time in this one. Not that much money, but a lot of time. So we hope people do enjoy it. We did have a few test runs with chicken racing before that, so we kind of know that people like this. But we'll see. We're gonna have to fine tune a lot of it for to get repeat customers, I guess.
Are you gonna have babos in there as well? If you have chicken racing, are you gonna have some penguins?
No, bro. Well, I think we do have a penguin, but I'm not sure. No, it's not a babu. Most definitely not a babu. We don't want to taint the brand. We kind of, you don't want to put. Anyways, I'm going to keep my comments to myself, but probably no babus. Yeah.
Well, I had that thought actually when we were putting like the front page highlights for this week together, having babu on it. I was like, does this like taint it in any way? Because it's like a
It has the highest floor price of all, of many collections. So technically, this is a very in-demand collection, and they're quite active too. They have not rugged, and actually, I think it was almost a free mint. Was it like 50 stars or something like that? Mint, right? Like it's super cheap. Pleb knows. And honestly, I don't even know where they chat. Like the babus, they chat in our Discord, so we're kind of the home for the Discord. I'm sure there's like some secret cabal babu group that I have not been invited to. Oh, pleb is part of it, it seems, but
No, I'm not part of it. I'm not. I just know it exists.
yeah, or maybe it doesn't even exist. It's all in our heads.
No, it exists. I got invited into. Yeah, it's just another general chat with the same Rekt gang.
it's just all the same people.
I mean, there were a couple of there was one handle in there who's somebody I don't think is a good actor, and so I was like, I don't need to be in this general chat because I got enough general chats to clog up my DMs, and yeah. So hopefully I'm not missing too much Babu Alpha, but I don't know. It exists though, unless they crashed it, and I'm out. Like,
They never invited me ever. I feel bad, and they use our Discord to chat. I'm fine with that, but you could at least invite me to the Babby chat.
Well, do you have a babu? Because that's kind of the.
No. I can't have a babu.
Well, see, you have to like publicly acknowledge on the timeline that you have a babu, that you've tainted yourself. And then they'll bring you into their little taint room, and you can decide from there how tainted you want to be.
Okay. I'll look into it. That means no. But it. Good to know.
On tainting, what I was thinking was actually like with like highlighting it, does it taint the babu? Because it's like the counterculture anti project. Do you know what I mean? So I was thinking like, I wonder if babus would see if they see it on the front page, they'll be like, oh, this is just lame. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I know. I think they like whatever attention you give them. So this is good. I'm sure they enjoy it. But
Hold on, wait. The NFT bros like whatever attention you give them. That's not possible.
yeah, you don't believe that. Huh?
I'm shocked.
No, but it is a fun counterculture movement. I mean, remember back then we used to have Rekt, and it was very similar, and I believe it was quite similar people that were involved. But we got a lot of backlash for it. Like people came into the Rekt Gang Discord and were like, "Why'd you say this? This is bullshit. This is crap." And I'm a floor my wolves. So I think they kind of spun this brand off to just to protect it, or I don't know, or maybe it's just for fun. A lot of this stuff is for fun, but we don't get as much backlash now from Babu saying stuff, right? Than if it was called Rekt News. So there's kind of that, kind of like a third party talk shit about anything you want to talk shit about.
I think they call it plausible deniability.
Yeah, I'm not involved. I don't hold a babu. I don't know who did anything ever. So don't add.
Get it in there again.
That's the angle. Although I really liked Babu News, so I wish it was kind of called Rekt News at this point. And they have the Babu meme generator, or I guess it kind of like modifies your Babu or whatever JPEG. They have like different traits on it. They call it Babu Labs. So there's a few things. Now I'm the Babu spokesperson. It seems, since V didn't want to join the space. I think he is on vacation, so that's fine. But next time you should have him as well.
Well, I think whoever wants to, whoever gets the blame for it, these spaces you can clip audio from them now. So whatever they want to do with it, they can, I guess, chop it up and.
Oh yeah,
that's fun. Exactly. Get you begging for them to change the name back to Rekt News.
I don't know if I want that. I don't know if then it will take, right? Like at this point, it's kind of its own thing. It's beautiful because it's not very organized, but it is at the same time, and it's a different entity at this point. You don't want to change it. You don't want to like Signal said. You want to be based
on the meme generator. They have one that's like, they have like a funny relationship with Yoya and Drama Queens, and there's like, I think they added one that's like her character's like chest in this like pink outfit for the babu. Whenever I see that, it's pretty funny. I wanted to ask something though. On another thing is like, okay, you're talking about relationship between Rekt Gang and babu. It's like maybe kind of like sub community, not really, but you know what I mean, interacts. And then there's Mad Scientist as well. So it's like Mad Scientist is sort of Rekt Gang, not 100%. I don't want to get into like any bullshit from the last year, but how is that now? Like how are you kind of managing that? Like, is it like a Rekt Gang thing? Because we're doing a Rekt Gang space here. I don't know if we talked about Mad Scientist or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I like to keep them separate. I think right from the start, we said we want these to be separate entities because they're kind of very different in vibe as well. Like Rekt and is degenerate. Then you have Babu, which is uber degenerate, right? Like limit autistic. And then you have Mad Scientist, which in my opinion is it's not that degen, but the vocation, or I guess the mission of Mad Scientist is really focusing on osmosis, where you're kind of and focusing on the cosmos ecosystem. So they're really different. And at this point, I feel the communities, yes, there's overlap, but they're quite different. If you join the Discord, they're I think different people chatting. So you do have overlap, but the vibes are different. The missions are different, and it's just the art is not the same as well. So basically, even though kind of co-founded both, I feel like they don't serve same purposes. And this is what I always tell to people wanting to launch an NFT project is you gotta think about what's the mission, what's kind of why are you doing this NFT project. Mad Scientist was to have an NFT project on osmosis, so kind of like this OG osmosis chip, talking about osmosis, talking about Cosmos, perhaps experimenting with IBC, experimenting with different, I guess, NFT-fi protocols. So that's kind of the vision for the mad scientist is a very cost osmosis based community. Go ahead, Homestead.
How much was airdrop exposure part of the vision for Mad Science?
It was big part, man. I will not lie. I like free shit. I think everybody likes free shit. I told you earlier, we got a huge free shit hype airdrop, which is worth like big amounts. So this is definitely one of the ideas behind is if you are to provide marketing and awareness and a platform and community to a protocol, well, in Cosmos, it's kind of like the norm at this point to give back to these users through perks and airdrops. And I mean, honestly, like, yes, Mad Scientist does this, but we were very pushing for that with Rekt as well. Back when we had Rekt Bulls, we were, we had this, we reached out to many protocols and wasn't working as well, I guess, or maybe it wasn't the norm back then, but it was one of our initial ideas, too, to kind of give back to the community of NFT holders to have these perks or these airdrops. So yeah, you can add that in for Mad Scientist as well, kind of having like this osmosis collection, osmosis users. And if people want to engage the osmosis community, then perhaps they should give back to Mad Scientists.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, dude. Rekt Bulls actually did get I think the airdrop, right?
Yeah, there was
So like
before that there was oh boy, Eclipse. Eclipse was supposed to launch on Juno back then, and we kind of had like this big collab with them. And there was this other there was a Greek name, I don't even remember. There was like this gambling platform on Juno that also airdropped some tokens to us. So in that sense, there was a lot of, it was kind of starting for the Bulls on Juno. If Juno picked up, I think the Bulls would have been like the most popular collection there. I think we had Lavana, but they weren't the PFP. So there was the Bulls that were the PFP, and we did like a lot of shit with Juno back then to try to, again, give them some visibility, grow the protocol, but then didn't work out. Uh, so it was already in the back of our heads to do this with Mad Scientists, obviously.
Cool. Yeah. So that was going to be something I kind of wanted to follow up with as well in this thought process was like maybe with some of the way, I don't know, like I don't want to say the failures of Rekt Bulls, right? Because Rekt Bulls haven't failed, but where they may have launched that chain, things like that, like the narrative and the business development, just hard to force the issue with that, right? And so spinning off with maybe an osmosis chain, right, and getting that community involved, kind of resets that idea and resets that ability as opposed to trying to, again, force that with Rekt Bulls and them migrating and maybe people not knowing all the history and all of that. When you've got, kind of Sunny wearing a Mad Scientist and you've got that connection to a main core chain, right? There, you do have that exposure and that ability to push for that is a little bit more. So I was wondering if maybe that was part of kind of the evolution of the whole project as well.
Oh yeah, it's so much easier to do BD work. I think I mentioned this like during the first Spaces of Mad Scientist. It was so easy. We have Aaron who works for the Osmosis team and David, and we have like an Osmosis group chat. And I'm like, Aaron, can you connect me with these people? He's like, yeah, fine. I'll create a group chat. Boom. Somebody from Osmosis creates a group chat with you. That's a huge hurdle, by the way. And they just help us do a lot of this BD stuff. And lots of people have heard of Mad Scientist on Osmosis because it was a really fun and exciting and successful mint at the time. So, it's much easier to do it on a big chain and being first on a big chain versus, I guess, minting on Juno and then bridging. Same for Rekt Wolves, by the way, which minted on Terra Luna Classic. And then it goes to like this really big chain, which is ETH. And then you kind of get lost in the noise. It didn't even mint on ETH. So you didn't even get that initial user base. So Yeah, at that point, it's you're totally right. Like for us, it made way more sense, and it's much easier just to execute the vision as a whole. But yeah, so Mad Scientist is kind of this Cosmos based collection, and Rekt Gang is basically this alpha hub that tries to do degen plays and get wrecked a lot of the times. Different collections, different visions, different people, some overlap. But yeah, love both, obviously. You love all of your children.
I'm just going to say, like, if anybody wants to hop up to ask questions or make a comment, feel free to request a speaker slot, and I'll get you up. On that whole topic of like BD and also airdrops and stuff, I think that maybe it's becoming kind of more competitive now, with different chains and groups like looking to make an NFT collection that is connected to like a given chain. So I was wondering if you had any thoughts about like the way the space is evolving in that regard, if it's like something new, and so on.
Well, what do you mean by like competitive? I mean, I think it was always kind of competitive.
For sure.
Go ahead.
No doubt about it. Like always competitive. But I think that I would say that there's a lot of collections now that I think launch connected to with like a kind of acting almost like as a mascot for like a given chain. Sometimes that's in like close connection to the existing team. Sometimes that's like driven by an independent team that maybe kind of like you guys, it's like this BD thing where you reached out and like let us develop it for you. So I was wondering your thoughts on the way, if, I mean, you just said like, you know, it's always been competitive, but I wonder if you see that as a distinct trend for 2025 with NFTs, or do you see it as all the same, or any difference there?
Yeah, I don't know if I see like a huge difference for this year versus other years. I will say, you know, to me, there's like at this point, there's maybe three types of profile picture projects that you should get into, and it's quite hard to differentiate yourself. So one is this first mover on a new chain, right? And for that, you really need an in, because obviously the team has to back you in some way or fashion. You can't just be like, I want to be the first on Barrett chain. They probably already have all these projects asking them to be first, and or I want to be the first on Initia, whatever it is, right? Like they already have some people in mind, and people that perhaps they've worked with before or have good reputation. So in that sense, being the first on a chain is great for the chain because it brings visibility to that chain, right? Like all these people that rock a PFP, or a Mad Scientist PFP, or a Bad Kid, or a Slop, right? They're talking about Cosmos, they're talking about Celestia, they're talking about Osmosis. So the chain wins because they're getting free marketing. And big awareness. And at the same time, that user or that NFT holder wins because all those protocols that are building on said specific chain will also be rocking that NFT and want to give back to that community that's been shilling them and shilling the chain. So being a first mover on a new chain is huge. And in my opinion, you can only have like one first mover, maybe two, I don't know, perhaps. But in that sense, it's you got to have that in or that connection, or you got to be super early and propose that to the founders. Or you get like a really small chain at that point, and then nobody cares, but perhaps it grows in the future. So that's kind of one thing, being the first mover. And a second is having a brand NFT. So that requires huge resources. And I don't think any Cosmos collection qualifies as a brand NFT, like not even close. To me, you know, that would be your Doodles, your Azukis, your Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. So projects that have massive, massive budgets and just throw money at these awesome, beautiful videos, and then they can collab with Nike or McDonald's, or and Doodles had McDonald's. Who did Pudgies have? Pudgies have like a lot of the incredible collabs, but they have like a huge brand team on it. They're not a first mover, right? But they are the most well-known project because they just have more marketing power and money than anybody. And last type of project that I feel is quite successful and will remain quite successful is the super degenerate stuff. Those are like the very niche crypto culture, people. So in that sense, Miladies is, I think, the most successful one, or Remelia Corp, whatever you want to call it. You have your Babus on Stargaze, right? Like the super degen. You have Rekt Gang, which is kind of that interface of being very degen. So those are kind of the free type of PFP collections that I see successful in 2025, and that were successful in the years past. So I don't see that changing much. I don't know. Like, people talk to me about gaming. I always hate gaming stuff. It doesn't really work to me. I don't know. Maybe
Building a game.
yeah. Well, we call it a game for legal reasons. It's not really. It's gambling, right? So in that sense, and the NFTs won't do anything, by the way, for the game. So yeah, well, except for, not Rekt Wolf NFTs. There won't be like new NFTs there for the Rekt Racing game. So just to add, yeah. So basically, those would be like the three types of PFPs that I see successful, and everything else is quite tricky. If you're in between that, if you're like a pure art project and you're not a first mover, kind of hard. Or if you don't have like a degen hardcore group chilling you, then it's very hard. Or if you don't have like lots of money to do marketing, then again, it's quite difficult. So I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, it is a very competitive space, and in my opinion, you kind of have to fill in those three different buckets to get an in. I think the degen way is kind of the easiest bucket, because you do something funky and weird and different, then you can get that attention from some crypto degens, which is cool, and then you can survive on that. But yeah, if you're not first mover and if you don't have big money, then yeah, you got to really focus on the degens. That's pretty much your approach.
Oh, it's a great breakdown. Yeah, I tend to agree. I was wondering if you had any thoughts on it, Homestead.
I see him as listener, or is he there?
He's still here.
I see him as speaker. If anyone in the audience can give thumbs up if you can hear Homestead. But yeah, please go ahead, dude.
Yeah, I can hear.
I can hear
All
you.
right, cool. Yeah. No, I think kind of what Zerk said is right. Like, I think the first mover one has been quite like demonstrated too recently, right? Like the whole Mammoth's Overlord thing on Forma. And like, yeah, he mentioned like there's stuff getting ready to happen with Initia and other chains, right? So that whole first mover thing is very well demonstrated right now. The point about the degens, I think, is totally correct, right? And I don't even know if you have to go for like hardcore degens. You just have to get like real users, real community members, like backing you and talking about you and things like that. Hardcore degens help a lot, right? Like people that are willing to bag hold, be whales and wait that year or two for something to pop or for the collection to move. Things like that is definitely helpful. But really, like you need people talking about you in public. And so actual user base is my thing. Like, you really need to get active actual user base. And you see that that's what a lot of collaborations are looking for in this cycle. So yeah, I think, he really hit on it. I don't necessarily know that you need hardcore degens, but to that point, like, he just told us how Rekt all got that hype airdrop and everything like that, and there's a bunch of hardcore degens that were like farming the testnet for that, right? So there you go, as a good illustration of that point.
Yeah, maybe my definition of hardcore degens is not the same as yours, because I think hardcore degens is anybody buying an NFT on Stargaze at this point. Because if you're in the Cosmos, you're a hardcore degen. I mean, like, just with the, I don't want to say there's that much friction, but there is friction. It's not like you're buying an NFT on, I guess, on Sol or ETH, where there's 10 times the user base. So you're in the niche of a niche here. Yeah, just different definitions for degens, but agree with you, pleb.
Ed jumped up. Mayor Ed, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah. Hey guys.
Yeah.
Hey Zerk. Was wondering, have you guys been paying attention to the abstract chain? It's the Pudgy Penguins, I think, is behind it. So, and it sounds like Luca is trying to like do what Penguins have been doing, but just like on a mass scale, and bring like non-crypto people in. Have you looked at abstract at all? Could you hear me?
Are you able to hear him, Zerk? Can you hear Ed when he's speaking? I can hear you, Ed, but we got nothing from Zerk.
Yeah, I can hear Mayor, but maybe Zerk is
He's ready.
I'll call.
Yeah.
Get a call.
Have you guys heard of that? This new abstract there. I mean, they've been all over social. I mean, they've been on my timeline a lot. But it's supposedly a new chain that they're going to launch, and it's like the Pudgy Penguin. It's the Penguin chain, I guess. I don't know what stack they're. I think they're maybe using an Optimism roll up. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's going to be ETH compatible, but I haven't looked that much into it. Wonder if Zerk has paid attention to it.
How does that relate to Stargaze or the Rekt gang, Mayor?
It actually does relate since we're the alpha hub. We definitely know about the abstract chain.
That's what I figured.
Look at some voices dropping in here.
We got the Hoodie Society up. Who is this? Who's behind the mic here? I don't know.
It's trendy.
Oh, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. I wonder if Zerk is it looks like he's trying to reconnect.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him. I think he's coming up on his personal account, so I'll get him to hop up.
Good to see you, Trendy. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Easy, brother.
Sorry, I saw you request earlier, Hetty. Sorry about that. I should have got you up. Go ahead, Zerk.
Yeah, internet issues. I'm back with personal.
Did you hear my questions, Eric? You might not have heard it. I was just asking about.
Probably not a good question though. That's what I heard afterwards. Somebody said that.
Doesn't have anything to do with stay. Sorry about that.
Is it better?
Yeah. I was just being a pleb, Mayor.
Homestead's the Stargaze bouncer, so he's not letting in at the door there with that question, I think. I don't know, but you guys have any plans with it, or I mean, if you
Oh no. Yeah. I don't know, man. We had Ape Chain. Now we're gonna have Abstract Chain. I'm sure that Pengu will do well, and Luca's the best at doing marketing and raising the awareness, and I think everybody loves him in the space. So I'm sure he'll be successful in some way. That being said, I'm not entirely sure of what the concept is here outside of giving a really huge airdrop to Pudgy Penguins. I even got a nice airdrop, so just for participating. So I really appreciate them. That being said, I don't know. I like it has to feel some sort of need, and I'm having trouble seeing how they can differentiate and how they can fill that need. So
It's all highly speculative, right? I mean, it's all like it could do nothing and just be another new chain that kind of fizzles out, or with Luke behind it, like could they finally get mainstream or just finally get non-crypto users? Like,
you know how much I don't like this. I'm trendy. Trendy's the complete opposite of me. I shut it down all the time. Every time they talk about those pudgy plushies or those pudgy toys, and we have plushies at Mad Scientist. I like them. They're not.
Cookies, I am. The cookies got me.
yeah. Oh, many things are. They're selling everything now, right? They're trying to sell everything.
How much you pay for those cookies, Trendy? Could you admit it on Spaces? Could you?
We don't talk about the cookies.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyways, I'm not gonna say how much you paid for cookies, but it was in the not what you usually pay for cookies. There we go.
That was a box of gourmet cookies, very gourmet. It was like my grandma made them and brought and delivered them to my house. They were wonderful. You're $50.
Yeah, I ate them. They're not like in the trophy box like the Wheaties with.
I mean, you have to eat them, but they're cookies.
They were delicious. I made content out of them as well. I created threads about each cookie, giving taste tests and putting them on a rate scale. Like I had to milk every bit of that money out of there.
yeah, you're about to drop a referral code for cookies here.
I mean, who pays $200 for cookies? Or I don't know what it was, but it was a lot. So
It was $150 shipped. It was about 20 cookies and a limited edition box.
there we go. So, but this is a good example. This is exactly my point. Is the people that buy the cookies are the same people that buy like very overpriced JPEGs and that spend money in crypto like ourselves. Not only you, Trendy, I'm including myself here too. So I buy like merch from different projects because I'm a degen. I like this stuff. But you will not see a retail person buy these cookies. Or even when I went to Toys R Us and they had the Pudgy toys, my kids did not want to buy the Pudgy toys. So they wanted to buy whatever cartoon they're familiar with. So and they want to buy Spider-Man or they want to buy Frozen stuff. So in that sense, like the only people that buy these toys, in my humble opinion, are degens. And even Luca came up with the number. I think he said like 90% of the people that buy the toys are people that are in crypto already. So retail adoption through merch or brand, I'm not sure. Like even Doodles, right? Doodles partnered with McDonald's. Like McDonald's, that is huge. Still, the people that are buying $20,000 Doodles, probably crypto people, not your mom and pop. So what really made the price of Pudgy Penguins pop off is the fact that they promised the Pengu token. That is what degens were really interested. So that's when they blew up to like 100K, is when, oh shit, we're getting like a Pengu airdrop. I'm gonna buy this NFT because financially that makes a lot of sense, and it really did. I think they got like 100K airdrop. So I don't know about like all these web 2 strategies. I like the web 3 strategy. Very, very solid. I don't change my message, Trenny, right? Like I've said this for numerous.
Yeah. I give you that. You're extremely consistent. I'm kind of in Mayer's camp. Like we have all the same three, like a Web3 kind of prototype scaling and who they're going after and stuff like that. Like I personally, not financial advice, I don't mind investing in this area. Like they're going a different path. So let's see if maybe this one has a chance of hitting, especially because we did get a nice little airdrop on the Pingu token. It does have some play within the abstract chain. Yes, I can attest to Rekt Gang is trying to get whitelist for abstract, not shilling it, but I am shilling it. So we're trying to do a lot of different things within that abstract chain, just because Rekt Gang has always been a part of trying to be within the realm of what's hot. So yeah, like if you're interested in abstract, definitely come to the Rekt Gang Discord, trying to get whitelist. We're talking about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an excellent point. Yeah, for sure, we're gonna milk whatever there is to be milked there, and probably just participating will get you eligible for something else in the future. So it's kind of worth it. So if you want to learn more about it, then go ahead. But I just the one point I'm disagreeing with is I don't know if this is gonna bring retail. Is all I'm saying, and that to me, I'm really unsure. And this, yeah, so and I'm not sure how much it's gonna differentiate because I've seen what happened with Ape Chain. And to me, it hasn't really been revolutionary. And apes were arguably much bigger than pengus I guess last bull market. So they had like Eminem, they had like Snoop Dogg, at they had like celebrities shilling apes. I have yet to see big celebrities like A-listers shilling Pudgy Penguins. But I don't know. We'll see.
It'll definitely be interesting to see this meta, because now that they have a token, and let's just say the bull market comes and these ape NFTs, these pudgy NFTs go absolutely ham, like the best way to get into those ecosystems will be that token. And then people jumping into those token will pump that token as well, and it'll draw a lot more attention. So it'll be an interesting concept to see what happens.
Yeah, remember that the tokenomics are quite different though. The ape token has like a huge inflation, which kind of only gave it down only action. But Pengu is quite, FDV is very close to whatever's circulating. So in that sense, it could be a fractionalized play on the Pengu, or I guess the Pudgy ecosystem. So we'll see. Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you, Ed. I wanted to jump in just because Martinez hopped up. Homestead, you could show Ed to the door. Just kidding. It's great conversation, guys. But yeah, Martinez, how are you doing? I wanted to give you a second because, we'll probably wrap up in 10 or 15 minutes. So anyone hopping up, I wanted to make sure that you have the chance to ask a question or make your comment. So Martinez.
Well, hey guys. Yeah. Hey guys, glad to see you. I just wanna say a few words about whole NFTs. I mean, I make observe last few days all whole collections on originals or OpenSea. Never mind. I mean, the interest point that the Web3 collections. I mean, it can be penguins or messines or Rekt. Anyway, or doodles. The most interesting thing that, for example, social apes, they try to build closed community of celebrities or of, I mean, rich people. Doodles try to create social phenomena, phenomenon. I mean, they try to enter from Web3 to Web2 with collaboration, and it's interesting point for me that NFTs start their move from Web3 to Web2, and I mean, it seems interest for me in whole NFTs. That's it.
I definitely agree. It'll be an interesting point to see because like that's what kind of tells us that we're still pretty early in this process because there is no blueprint to pulling this all together. So I don't know. I'm still pretty bullish on it. Circling this back, Stargaze is probably the best NFT marketplace in any ecosystem. So bullish on Stargaze. I'm still laughing, Brady, when you're like, go ahead and show Mayor out. Go show him to the door.
He knows I was just joking around. We've been on Spaces for like 3 years together.
I'm bullish on Stargaze. What I told you this already, but I guess everybody knows. But I want to see Stargaze on all the chains, man. We want to be using it on on every chain or in some way or fashion because it is a very good marketplace. So that'd be cool. But I guess it is technically difficult. But just like OpenSea, right? Yeah, exactly. Just like
Brady, is it difficult or is it in the works?
give us some alpha, Brady.
So anyways, moving on to the next topic.
Shane told us outpost, win outposts. I'm just kidding.
I think there's a lot of pretty exciting stuff in the works for the next quarter.
What about the L2? What about Astra? Is it still called Astra?
Yeah, I think Astra, like among the different initiatives, I think Astra's a little bit more on the back burner right now. You can look at that as kind of a focus on the Celestia ecosystem versus focusing on other areas. And there's other ones that are kind of prioritized. If you look at the Stargaze handle timeline and some of the things it's been interacting with, you can probably put some of the pieces together. But there's like a couple other things that are like high focus for the next few weeks first.
All right. Fine, keep your secrets.
Sorry. I know I'm supposed to do this. I'm just a pleb. Nobody tells me anything. I'm just the Stargaze pleb. I don't know anything.
No, that's my line, bro.
Yeah. That's how you do.
You gotta put on a pixel pleb if you're gonna say that.
All right, I'll change it later today. Yeah, no, but I'm really excited for the next few months on Stargaze. I know that the team is working on improvements to the site itself that I think will really improve some of like what we're talking about with the social components and people being able to kind of like maybe share parts of their activity on the timeline and stuff like that. That kind of I think that really appeals to super active users. From the kind of like social and communication perspective, I think it's good to be focusing more on projects that are like active on Stargaze, outside of what people call the big three too. But I think when people come to the platform and, if they engage and explore like a Rekt bull, that sort of thing, I think that's like really sticky in a sense. So, more focus on that. As well as, like I said, we're going to have kind of less like features moving forward, kind of moving that to 1 or 2 a month, and like really focusing on those being like, projects that people can focus in on early on, do their research about them, make it a little bit more of an event, that sort of thing. So, and that at least for me within Stargaze, I'm not a dev, that's more where my focus is like supporting projects when they launch and so on. So, and like a little bit of, I guess, BD stuff, relationships with other projects I help out with. So yeah, that's like where my mind is, you know what I mean? And less so on things like infrastructure, let's say.
Yeah, at this point, you ask me what feature would you like to see on Stargaze, and I don't even have an answer for you. So, I feel like everything's there, perhaps more tokens, but that's like very whatever. But yeah, I don't like the marketplace works very, very well. Go ahead, Trini, sorry.
Wasn't there a messaging system coming soon?
Like a friend tech?
I don't know. I don't remember. I thought I saw something. I could have had a dream. I thought Stargaze was building something with messaging, like where you could send like a message to user.
God, remember we had that on Random Earth? People just spammed you with like, sell this to me for cheap.
Yeah, I mean, basically that's probably what it would be, but it's kind of beneficial.
Yeah, messaging or commenting are cool. I think you have to find a way to make sure the spam is filtered out. Oh shoot, sorry, something just dropped in my head. I was about to say something important. Oh yeah, on like the site functioning, like Stargaze did like a big upgrade from V1 to V2, which is like kind of like a rewrite of the whole marketplace. And so there's some features that were like scaled back, and then have to be kind of like rewritten and reintegrated. So I know that's been like a little bit of a pain point for people the last month or so, because a few things like like floor price being displayed like in their profile is was kind of temporarily removed for the sake of the site running really smoothly. But that stuff's all going to be like reintegrated over time. It just as there was like a full upgrade, like a lot of stuff needs to be like rewritten. So I just wanted to comment on that because you're mentioning features you're requesting. There's definitely stuff that people are like, hey, I'd really like this back. And that's all getting worked on.
Hey, Signal.
I do want to know.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, brother. I was going to say, I do want to know, Brady, and this is kind of directed at you. Like every time I jump on a Stargaze Spaces, every time you hear like from an artist or a community member that's part of that team, they're always giving you kudos. So I just kind of wanted to shout that out and say, I'm not sure what you're doing, but keep it up because I hear a lot of good things about your name. So just wanted to give you your flowers.
I'm not sure what you're doing to keep it up. That's like the nicest. That's the best. Yeah, no, I I run around chipping in here and there. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's great. Like at least for me, I started like with Signal, like releasing like small batches of like 101 NFTs on Stargaze. I don't know, 3 years ago we did like we were part of the first audiovisual drop. I've been like a collector of a lot of projects on the platform for a long time. So I think I have like a good perspective on what it's like to be like a creator and user. You know what I mean? So try to keep that in mind, basically.
And he's Canadian, Trendy, so that's why he's so nice to be. It's in the genes. Brady, I think PBR wanted to chat. I don't know if you see him.
What brand of gene is there? It comes with kindness.
It's the jeans that you also wear as a jacket. That's Bingo's jeans.
Oh, the tuck. Okay, cool. I'll have to get one of those, and then I'll just magically be a little kinder.
I haven't ever attended a crypto conference, but I kind of want to, if I do like NFT NYC, want to show up in like the full Canadian tuxedo, jean jacket and nice stiff blue jeans.
I'll meet you there, man, if you're going, and I hope Trendy's gonna go there as well. We'll do a thing at the Stargaze party.
Trendy, you're Canadian as well?
No. He's
Oh, okay.
but he's like half Canadian. I'm sure he has some genes, but he's so nice. He I feel like
That's Southern hospitality.
okay. There we go.
Guys, by the way, the best English I heard, it was Canadian. I mean, USA guys already talks with so huge accent. I mean, I can't understand that.
Yeah, Canadian is like super flat usually. I think a lot of people are off put by it almost because like you can't really tell when it's not clear when you're joking sometimes. I think like I don't know if you know what I mean, Zerk, but you're pretty big.
Sarcastic though. We're pretty sarcastic.
That's pretty sarcastic.
Yeah. So it's
Sorry, I missed PBJ. I don't know if you wanted to. Sorry, PBR. If you wanted to request again, he's welcome to hop up.
yeah,
We should probably wrap this pretty soon. Probably, everybody's got to probably get back to their days. So maybe we can wrap up in 5 or 10 minutes. But if you wanted to hop up, PBR, any comments or question, feel free, man.
he's a little lazy, it seems, but he took his request down. It's all good. It's all good.
Sorry, I missed that one. Not the most organized at running these spaces, But I mean, yeah, we're probably going to wrap soon. So I wonder if there's kind of anything you wanted to cover before we head out. I think it's been like a good chat. It's good vibes. So, but
Yeah,
I don't want to give you like a shill minute, but
let me chill. I want to chill.
yeah. Okay. Well,
But yeah, if you want to make money, join the Rekt gang. Or if you get wrecked, also join the Rekt gang. So in both cases, you got to join the Rekt gang. There's both good options. We got the chickens for those that are don't want to spend too much money, because I think the floor on some of the NFTs is like $80 to $100, which can be a lot. But the Rekt chickens are quite cheap on Stargaze or Solana or Polygon. Might as well shill the overchains. So They give you 1 month access to the Rekt Gang Alpha. If you think it's useful, then perhaps you can buy an NFT that's part of the OG collection, like a bull on Stargaze, and then make more money, or not. And again, we got Rekt channel as well. So yeah, if you want an intro, get a chicken, join the Discord, try it out for a month. If you like it, then you can commit more. If not, well, then that's fine. It would have been like $2 to $5. Probably waste more on gas fees or some crappy meme coin. Yeah, do join the Rekt Gang. We got lots of fun things going. PBR is here. Oh, I see. I see.
Test. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you're clear. Sorry, I missed you earlier, man.
That's all right. Yeah, I came to the space late, and the first thing I heard when I got on was Zerk saying Rekt Racing. Can you repeat yourself, please?
Yeah, Rekt Racing is coming, man. I don't know when. I mean, soon. Every time I say soon, it's soon. We have now. Just to add, like for Rekt Racing, I was saying how we have a game designer and animator and artist. We have now a sound designer as well. So we have like racing sounds and music added to it. So it's a very polished product. Maybe we might have invested too much time and effort on this, but it is going to be very, very, very finished and smooth and beautiful when you get to participate in it.
Is this space telling of where Rekt Racing is going to live? Is that?
Oh, I told them right away it's not Cosmos. So and they all got disappointed that it's not Cosmos.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm disappointed as well.
Are you really? Yeah.
That was thick sarcasm.
A Philadelphia sarcasm right there. But yeah, no, it's coming. But it's looking very cool. Maybe I could show you some things. I'll ask Kudo. Maybe we can do like a few like small group tests with y'all that are super OG.
Wait, so I missed you just saying Rekt Racing is coming. That's what I missed. That's it. That's what you gave the space.
I don't know, man. We filled a whole hour with it. It looks like I'm pretty good at this. I should take Trudeau's place next election. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, that recap was not very good. I feel like you did not tell anybody anything.
That's the beauty of tell me that. This way's got replaced Trudeau. Devs, you've got none of them are named Scotty, right? No, who's Scotty, man?
Who? Yeah, who are you talking about, Homestead?
I know who you're talking about.
Gonna give Florin a minute here. He hopped up. He's got his hand up. How you doing, Florin?
Hey, how's it going? What's up, Rekt Gang? I just had a question about Rekt Racing. Like, how does it like connect with the Rekt Gang, like NFTs or like the whole ecosystem, like just in general? Besides being like probably what's going to be a cool game and stuff, but just curious if you could share anything about that.
Well, the name, the branding is quite similar, but most importantly, the perks. That's what I'm gonna say.
So what are we getting?
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. How's this gonna make us all not be wrecked?
Yeah, well, the perks, is what you guys want, is what we give, is what I can't give more details than that. You got, for those that help Rekt Wolves, or they got good lab perks for scientists, so it's going to be a similar approach to Rekt Racing as well, and that's how people going to get involved.
So, will it be like you mint a car?
There's no NFTs. There are no NFTs. It's a standalone platform that will perhaps have something else to manage the platform, and that certain NFT holders might benefit from.
Is it the type of thing where like if you have a Rekt Gang NFT, it's like a game cartridge that you can like plug into the game?
It's not a game, man. I don't know what it's a gambling platform. Like at this point, I don't know if I can be more clear.
You can keep blowing on it, but nothing's gonna happen.
Out of ours is up. That's gonna be.
I thought it was gonna be like Mario Kart. I have like in my head no skill involved, like mad scientists like driving, like, and then you have like the bull.
Yeah, you'll see that perhaps, but you're not gonna be controlling them because it's not. It's more of a gambling thing than it is a game. We call it a game, but really it's betting on horses.
So I got my notes noted. It's basically Mario Kart, but for blockchain.
Yeah, okay. You can go with that.
Sick. Okay, that sounds dope as fuck.
Yeah, thanks for having me up, guys. I feel like I didn't miss too much, but all right.
You really didn't, but thanks for joining, PBR.
Thanks for joining, man. Cool. I think we'll wrap up here, guys. I got to get going at least. But I really appreciate you guys joining today. Good chat. Going to be doing more of these kind of spaces, highlighting like super active communities and projects on Stargaze. Think in a couple weeks we'll try to get Yoya on one again with Drama Queens. I think might end up being a lot of the same people in the audience with how many like Rekt Gang folks are active with that collection and Babu and so on. But yeah, it's appreciate you guys. Keep an eye on Stargaze. There's some really cool projects coming up. Information.
Get a last word here.
Yeah, and the final thing I was going to say is just thank you. And go ahead, Homestead.
Thanks, bro. We talked about Rekt Gang a lot. We gave Brady some flowers. We gave Zerk some flowers, but I don't know if I heard the C word enough. So like the Rekt Gang community really needs some flowers as we close this space out. They're some of the most active people in this space. They probably are the reason that Stargaze community has some culture right now, and develops some core community. So like we really should give some flowers out to those folks who migrated over after the Terra collapse, migrated their Rekt Bulls over when things didn't work out over there, kind of stuck it out here, joined some of the other NFT communities, and have helped make this a fun place. They're out there all the time. They're memeing. They're putting out alpha, like not just in their Discord, right? Like you can get in the Discord and get the alpha, but there's alpha that they share on the timelines. Like it's a really active, fun community. Yes, they might bite once in a while if you say something dumb or do something dumb, right? But we all need to laugh at ourselves too. And that's another good thing that Rekt Gang brings to the table. I will also say the Rekt chat in their Discord, they'll give you a nice hug or a who to blame sticker to help you get over whatever you've done to yourself. I can attest to that. Anyhow, y'all have a great one. If anyone else needs to say goodbye, they can.
Beauty. Take care, guys.